Welcome in. Good afternoon. It's the Ticket Punchers here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. I'm your host, Roman Kelly, joined today by my co-host here on the show, J.R. Anderson. Joining soon here in a few minutes, our other co-host on the show, Mr. Curtis Phillips. Philly Picks, our two handicappers here on the show that join me every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Big X. JR, a few things we're going to be discussing today, a few things we're going to be getting into, considering we gave some punches out last night. We're going to react to those. Got some interesting results last night in college basketball, an NBA fight that I want to get your opinion on, and we've got some trade news happening in the NBA as well that we can discuss and kind of see how that's going to change the landscape of the NBA here a little bit. Before we do that, though, I want to let the listeners know we want your thoughts, we want your comments, we want your concerns, we want your wagers, we want your punches, we want your jabs, whatever it is. Send those into our Game Day Men's Health text line at 502-414-1450. Or if you're watching on YouTube at Ticket Punchers or on X at _Ticket Punchers, you can get it on the chat as well and send your thoughts in there, and we can even display them up on the screen for everyone to see. So excited to be chatting here with you guys today. Thank you all so much for listening. JR, how are you today, my guy? How has life been treating you in this cold weather, and what are you looking forward to tonight?
Doing good at home with the sick Kobe Jean. So she's hanging out with Papa. She'll probably be joining us on camera here in a second as she starts screaming. But overall, good. Last night's punches didn't go as planned. But we will bounce back tonight. I've been in the lab all day today looking to redeem myself and get off to a better start to finish out January and get into February. So hopefully Kobe Jean can bring us some luck.
We need Kobe Jean. We need you. We got to finish out January as strong as we possibly can here on the Ticket Punchers. JR, there's a few things I want to get into. We'll save the punches for when Philly joins the show because we know he will be joining. Let's look into last night's punches. You said not the best night for yourself. I know you didn't give too many out last night. I think you only had like one or two props total, but three. Yeah, I gave out two official punches last night. We took the Arkansas -2.5, and we took the Creighton -1.5. We had some success with one, Arkansas getting the job done for us, but Creighton getting smoked by Marquette. Marquette finally looking competent on their home floor. We're still fading them. We're still going to definitely be fading them when they're on the road. But the Creighton Blue Jays not getting the job done for us last night over Marquette, losing 86-62. So we go 1-1 in our official punches. We did give 2 jabs out. Tyrese Maxey, 25+ points, and the Denver Nuggets plus 6.5 points on their point spread as underdogs last night. Nuggets get the job done for us, JR, as they only lose by 2 points to the top dog in the East, the Detroit Pistons, winning 109-107. Some couple of good games last night in the NBA. I thought the Bucks 76ers was exciting for a bit, even without the Giannis presence that they need. They still were able to make that game kind of competent or close until the end, scoring 122 points, but losing because the 76ers did score 139. Nets Suns, that wasn't supposed to be a good game, and it was. Clippers Jazz probably should have been as close as it was, but the Clippers still ultimately getting the job done. There was something interesting that happened last night, though, JR, and I wanted to get your opinion on it because the Pelicans and Thunder played. The Thunder get the victory on their home floor, but in the very last moment of the game, or I should get the victory on their home floor because they were on a 2-game losing streak. You don't really say that phrase very often in sports, a 2-game losing streak, but the Thunder aren't the kind of team that loses very often. So when they go down to the Raptors on their home floor and go down to the Pacers on their home floor, 2 teams out of the East, the Raptors are good, but the Pacers should not be beating the Thunder in Oklahoma City. That was interesting. That was not something we expected, but they do get back right last night over the Pelicans. And at the very end of this game, Jeremiah Fears has some kind of moment happen with Lou Dort. It looked like trying to get the offensive rebound or trying to kind of go up with it when the time was expiring. Dort kind of gives him a shove. Fear gives him a push back. Dort says, gives him a big shove, and Fears goes with the jersey grab on Lou Dort before the 2 crowds of players all come and break that up. We talked about Jeremiah Fears in the very beginning of the season, one of the rookies that we kind of made some money on with his scoring props and the lines. He's not really adjusting, right? Keep putting in a plus money for 12+ points before they caught on to that. Well, he's one of the better ball handlers on that team. He's also one of the best, bigger fighters in the NBA, JR. Rookie guard out of New Orleans, not doing a whole lot with New Orleans, but he's been good. He fights every other game. What's up with these young guns in the NBA getting into all these fights?
I don't want to call it little man syndrome, but he's definitely a spicy meatball. But I think it, ties into his competitiveness,
Being younger as well. He did reclass.
And, coming from college and high school, he's been a part of some winning programs, and to be on the opposite end of that, within playing in the top, 1% of the league with all the, top world's best talent, like it gets tough, man. When that there's no glory at the end of your season, you get a little bit of chippiness.
6'3", 190, younger than everybody out there. Yeah. You want to hold your own.
Yeah,
it's just kind of interesting. He doesn't back down to anybody.
Yeah, and he shouldn't. You just have to let it channel into your game. You can't be scrapping and getting suspended. We get enough of that from Draymond. We don't want a guard version of Draymond out here.
We don't need ball,
that. Be competitive, and
Yeah, he's a 14-point per game scorer, three rebounds, 3 assists, and he's only shooting 43%, but you kind of expect that out of a rookie guard that's getting the usage that he gets down there in New Orleans. But his fight counter for the season is up there with it's up there with the Draymonds and the Dylan Brookses. He's kind of like a little point guard version of Dylan Brooks, and I think the league needs more of guys that, like you said, buy into that within their game. Dylan Brooks, he does the pregame stuff, and he has his postgame moments, but within the game, a lot of that villainous attitude is actually within play, right? Yeah. Jeremiah Fears needs to buy into that a little bit more.
The one thing I love about Brooks is, like, Brooks tries to take you out of your game, but he doesn't do it by putting hands on you. Like, he can escalate it for sure, but even last night when he
gets verbal, he's a verbal with it.
Like, he got into the scuffle last night, and he was on the receiving end of it. So, getting inside of people's heads is a lost art of the game, but it's starting to come back with a few of these guys, and I appreciate it.
Dylan Brooks, just to throw it out there, we need to start paying attention to when Booker's out. His points per game when Devin Booker doesn't play, they raised the line. He goes up from an 18.5-point line up to like a 21.5-point line, but he's right there, 21, 22, 25 points every time Booker doesn't play, we might need to start paying closer attention to that. It's just hard betting on a player like that who the shot attempts, he might take 8 shots one night, he might take 15 shots the next, and then he might be suspended the game after that. You never know. But that was a little bit of fun happening in the NBA last night. Now, something happening today in the daytime was a Shams bomb. We got a Shams bomb. Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to be on the move. We are now hearing from the sources telling ESPN, basically now coming out, that the Bucks are going to start listening to those trade offers. You know they've been getting them. They've probably been getting trade offers nonstop for the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
But they're actually looking at them and opening up those emails now and having those conversations in their boardrooms and whatnot. So we chatted about this on the Running with Roman show today. We chatted about it on the Real Spiel podcast earlier in the day on the In and Out to NBA show, which we still need to get you on there, JR. Tough to gauge on if Giannis Antetokounmpo will be making the move this season, but we have gotten word the Warriors, the Raptors, the Heat, the Knicks, all very interested in potentially trying to go after him and make a deal. I think if he goes past the deadline and ends up having to play this season with Milwaukee and it's the offseason when he gets traded, I think the teams kind of expand. I think other teams kind of open up a little bit. Like the Pacers kind of have some of the resources that some other teams don't to go out there and make a deal. Now they've got a couple of picks as well. The Heat, they have a couple of resources as well. But there's teams like the Mavericks, right? They may want to make a deal. You can't really make that deal right now, but if you get Anthony Davis back on the floor, it's the offseason. He's saying you can claim he's healthy. You might get a different call back from the Bucks or something like that. Or you never know. They might say, hey, Philadelphia, give us Joel Embiid straight up. Take Giannis, right? You really never know.
It's tough.
But one thing that we do know is it doesn't matter where. If it's a competent team, right? I say competent. If it's a team that's above the 6th seed right now, if it's a non-play-in team, on the Eastern Conference side, he makes every single one of those teams in the top 6 a contender, if not the favorite in the East.
Yeah.
Right? And that's crazy. We haven't had a player of that caliber be traded. I mean, James Harden's close to that, but he had just kind of left that level of his prime, right? Granted, I understand this last game with the Rockets, he had like 44 points and 17 assists, but he had a gut, right? He was not in shape. Those were bad shot attempts in that game. And overall, that play for Houston before he got traded to the Brooklyn Nets, he was trying to force that trade, right? This is different. This is a kind of a mutual, we know you need to get out of here. We want to get the most that we can for you. There's not a lot of negativity centered around this, at least not to the public eye. And this could be landscape changing. It probably will be landscape changing if it ends up being one of those teams that already has something to work with, right? So before we move on, JR, where would you like to see Giannis most?
You already know the answer to that, baby. Yeah, purple and gold, man. But I don't think we can get it done.
We didn't pay Reeves. We didn't give Reeves the money yet.
Well, that's what it would have to be. I called this when we did an episode probably 2 months ago where I did the graphic on Giannis in a Lakers jersey. But it would have to be a sign and trade with Reeves once he comes back healthy. And I think we'd have to give up Rui and probably multiple first-round picks. But
yeah, we're another one of those teams that we can't really do it before February 5th. But if somehow, some way he can stay with Milwaukee till the offseason, the Lakers are now in for him. Dallas is now in for him. Houston could potentially be in for him.
Spurs
would be
that is the scariest scenario that I've seen on paper yet. The only team that can go tit for tat straight up are the Warriors. The Knicks don't have the cap to do it right now without.
They would need a 3-team trade. Yeah, they would need a 3-team
without giving up Karl Anthony Towns. That's the only way that they can get it done with multiple picks, which I don't see them giving up Cat unless Giannis comes out and say, "Hey, I want to be in New York." Then that's when we're going to see New York start to become very shady.
If he does that, he's going to give that team so much leverage that it'll be hard for them to get a good deal.
I think the only way we get him in the West is if if he says he wants to be a Laker or a Spur or something like that. But I do think he's about to shift into the I want to win now or within the next 2 to 3, which could be Spurs, Warriors, or LA. Rockets, now that Steven Adams had season-ending surgery today, the Rockets will emerge as a big contender as well.
Yeah. Rockets and Lakers. Rockets, Lakers, and Dallas, I feel like are the 3 teams that you're not going to hear a lot about in the next week or so. Yeah. But if he makes it past that trade deadline, those 3 teams get amplified way, way, way up the list for sure.
June 1st,
I'm seeing I'm seeing those media NBA guys who aren't really in the know with a specific team, but they're in the realm. They're saying it's a done deal to the Warriors. I don't know if I believe that yet with the news having come out today.
Well, the Warriors could give up Kuminga. They could trade Butler since he has a no-trade clause. They could give up Pods and maybe a couple other pieces. Like, you're trying to send off Curry with a bang and extend your superstar status if Curry leaves, or if he, if you get Giannis, it extends him by at least another 2 to 3 years for sure. Like, he's still staying reasonably healthy. I would love to see Giannis and Curry, but
that would be cool. I think we all kind of want to see that. If it's not your team, you want to see him go to like one of those old guys that still has it and kind of pair him up with somebody to, for the next 2 or 3 years, they can both be a contender again. I think Steph's the perfect example. NBA is better when Steph's in the playoffs. We all know that. We've seen it.
The Heat would be a sleeper here, but they would have to They would have to give up Bam, Hero, Wiggins, the whole shebang. I don't know if Spo and the GM, I forget what, Pat Riley is going to make that move. But
I'm
love
to
see him in South Beach as well.
I would too. I'm hearing that Hero, they could find a way to make it Hero and everybody else, or Bam and everybody else, and keep one of either Hero or Bam. I don't really see. I don't see it.
Like, the Bucks need to go into tank mode, obviously, but also, you want to get enough back. Like, keep hearing analysts compare the situation to the Paul George and OKC trade. What up, Curtis?
What's going on, fellas?
I don't think it's similar. Like, we didn't know what SGA was going to be. The only one that saw the talent was Presti, and he had enough picks and enough to keep the team afloat. But here we are. So I don't think it's similar. I do think Giannis eventually will come out and say where he wants to be, and I think that's where they'll try to move him to. But it's going to be whoever has the best pieces available. If not, it'll go to the June 1st deadline.
Philly Picks now joining the show with us, Mr. Curtis Phillips, our other handicapper and co-host on the Ticket Punchers. Miami Heat fan, looks like he's wearing a Brooklyn Nets shirt right now. That's a bit surprising.
Little Kyrie action.
Okay, Kyrie jersey shirt. That's fair. He for his little time there, he was kind of legendary as a Brooklyn Net, at least before Kevin Durant and Harden came around. But
Kyrie with the
Philly,
fro.
Yeah, Fro Kyrie. 60 points in his debut in a Brooklyn Nets jersey? That was insane. Or was it 50 points? 50 points in his debut as a Net, I believe. Philly Picks, welcome into the stream. Welcome into the show. We're chatting right now NBA stuff. We got into the Jeremiah Fears fight from last night. We shifted to the Giannis Antetokounmpo trade sweepstake news.
Yeah.
Philly, if you had to choose, where would you want to see Giannis before February 5th?
Well, I'm sorry, fellas, but I don't see him being a Miami Heat. But I would love to. I love what Bam has done for us, but getting a guy like Giannis, I don't think that's something we could pass on. But yeah, like JR said, it would be hard for us to get him. I'd like to see him and Hero kind of pair together, but we'd have to give up a lot of pieces to go after him. But I like the teams that y'all named. I could see Warriors, Knicks may not have the cap space like JR said right now. But I think Warriors would honestly be the best fit for a guy like Giannis. So
yeah, I think Warriors would be the best fit for Giannis. I think the Spurs would be the best fit for a team. Like what changes their team's future, both immediate and long term, is probably the Spurs. But I'd like to see Steph Curry with a real defensive presence. Draymond's not the same defensive presence. He's still good, but he's not elite anymore like he used to be, unless it's the perfect kind of matchup for him, right? Alfred Sengun, who's not the quickest footed type of a guy. Yeah, Draymond can kind of expose that a little bit, but it's time for Steph to have that player he can swing it to, and they can go do what he needs them to. Jimmy was becoming that, and it's really tough to watch an injury like that on a player his age, who he was truly becoming that for the Warriors as of late. Becoming that 20-point per game guy who can also make plays, can play big, can guard small, was kind of the perfect player alongside of a Steph Curry. JR, what you got?
Orlando Magic package, Banchero and Anthony Black potential trade package incoming here in the next hour or so.
Oh.
Are you getting word on that?
Yeah.
We got comes in the building.
Yeah.
Wow, that would be a surprise. That would be unexpected. 100%.
It's Banchero, Black, or Suggs, and some pick swaps is what I'm hearing here. So we'll see.
I don't think you're not getting. If I'm Milwaukee, I'm saying you're not going to get Franz and Banchero.
No,
so
Franz. Remember, I called this a long time ago. I said I like Franz better. They were playing better with Franz when Banchero was hurt. As soon as Banchero came back, like his style of play just like slows them down. In my opinion, I love Franz way better on the upside. I think Banchero, he's a hell of a talent, but I think he needs
it's so early still though.
It's not though. Like he can produce. Like
this is year 3 for him or year 4.
Yeah, like we know what it's going to be. Like even the other night, he had like 38, 12, and 9, and they still lost by almost 15, 20 points. Like that's what the scenarios be. The team is not centered around him or constructed for him. Franz is different. Franz is 3 level, which I think can be a much better piece to build around.
Yeah, he had 37 and 10, and they didn't score 100 points.
Exactly. And we've seen that time and time again. Dwight years, we've seen, we've seen this with countless and then inevitably it ends in a trade. If you plug Giannis in there with Franz, hey, listen, you're cooking with grease.
Yeah, with those defensive guards that you've got down there in Black and Suggs, somehow if you keep one of the two, I think you keep that defender on the perimeter as well. That could get scary. Desmond Bane's a good defender too. Now you're talking about one of the better defensive starting fives in the NBA, adding a Giannis Antetokounmpo to that. If Franz can get back to what he was, get back right. Philly, we went over our official punches. I was 1-1 on the night on my officials. I went 1-1 on my jabs. I wanted to give you the chance to talk over your picks from last night as well before we give out our official punches for tonight's show or for today's show and our triple punch parlay as well here today. Philly, how did last night look for you?
Yep, not the worst. We only had one play, and we missed on that. It was the over in the Arizona State UCF game. Needed just a couple more minutes for this to cash. It was the pace that we needed, but both teams really struggled to score at some time, so we finished just under that total. So we go 0-1. Looking to bounce back today.
What do we like tonight, JR? There was a lot of excited college basketball on last night. Nebraska, Michigan getting the victory in that one. We got to see Arkansas, Oklahoma last night. Kind of an exciting game. Michigan, Rutgers was not supposed to be an exciting game, and it was. Not the same slate tonight, unfortunately. But what are we looking into? Whether it's NBA or college basketball? Start with JR. Was that whatever you were looking when you found in that dig earlier tonight? Let us know.
Yeah. So my top 3, starting off from top to bottom, is TJ McConnell over 13.5 points and assists, -110. He's 80% in the last 5, and the only one that he missed was by 2, and that was the oldest game on the last 5, which would have been the first out of the 5. Secondly, Jackson Hayes over 5.5 points, -125. He's 87.5%. He's only missed 1 out of the last 8. I love this. He strung together some really good games. They're at Cleveland tonight, so I love that line for him going against Twin Towers.
Through the legs dunk in the last game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I think he should be getting way more clock than he's getting with Ayton kind of looking shaky, but the lob threat is always there, and he's a spark off the bench. One of the probably 2 that we really truly have. Lastly, Lauri Markkanen over 1.5 assists, -162. I was just going to use that as an easy parlay piece. 100% in the last 5, so you can't beat it. So those are my solid 3. My favorite is the TJ McConnell over 13.5 points and assists, -110.
Love those. Those. Great punches there, JR. Appreciate you doing that dig, finding those numbers for us. Philly picks, what you got for us tonight?
Yeah, for me, I'm all in the NBA as well. No college for me tonight. I'll point out, last night in college was pretty crazy. 6 ranked teams overcame double-digit deficits to come back and win. So that was pretty wild to watch. But, yeah, and to my punches, Jalen Tyson, been a cash cow for me all season. I'll keep pointing it out. Taking his 22.5 points and rebounds. Got it at +100. With Garland out, this is basically hitting every game. And now Mobley's out as well. So I really love him to be able to get some more rebounds tonight as well. And then going up against a Lakers defense, no respect, Roman and JR, but not the best on the perimeter side. And I think he's going to be the second go-to scorer behind D. Mitch. DeAndre Hunter's minutes have been going down. So if you're looking for somebody to get buckets, I think Jalen Tyler. So I love his prop tonight. And if I like Onyeka Okongwu over his 2.5 pounds. For some just love to go against this. That's what he's over in 4 of the last 5 versus them. There's also no Kata tonight as well.
Yeah.
So I think look, if guards is guarding them, I think this is easy money right here. Those odds at -115. So those are the 2 NBA props that I really love tonight.
I like those. I've got an interesting one. The Miami Heat are favored tonight over the Orlando Magic. The Magic are 3-0 against the Heat this season already. They beat them in the first game of the season. They beat them once in Orlando, and they beat them a second time in Orlando in the NBA Cup. No Davion Mitchell tonight, potentially the game time decision on Norman Powell, game time decision on Khalil Ware. No Tyler Hero tonight. Fellas, give me the +3.5 for the Magic. I don't even know why this line is really. It should be a pick 'em. I feel like at a 1.5. Orlando hasn't lost to them yet. I don't know if it's going to happen tonight without Tyler Hero and potentially a Norman Powell, Khalil Ware, and a Davion Mitchell. I don't see them winning by the 4 points.
Magic side?
We know Franz is out, and then the Castellan guy, he didn't play much. The center down low. Everybody else is healthy. Everybody else is healthy for Orlando. Give me Orlando on the +3.5 in this one. It's gonna bite me. It's gonna come back to Miami's gonna win by 20 points tonight, knowing just how some of those teams look when they're in that spot to not get swept by a team going forward. I still think that the Magic can cover that +3.5 points tonight. That line has gone up 1 point. Heat were 2.5-point favorites, now 3.5-point favorites. I'm seeing on ESPN bet. On DraftKings. I don't know if the line's moved anywhere else, but that's the play that I'm on in the NBA for a team prop. In the NBA tonight, fellas, for the player prop side, I've got 2. I want to see how JR feels about this one. Give me Luka Doncic on the 32+ points, 31.5 on the alternate over tonight on the Cavs. Fellas, who's going to stop him? Who is going to stop him? I don't see. I mean, if you play bigger on him, he's going to get to the rim. He's going to get to the rack. If you play smaller on him, he's going to shoot over him. 31.5 points on the line is at -166. I'm on the Luka over. I don't take many Laker player props at all outside of LeBron James, just because when he gets into a groove, he's the most consistent player in the NBA at times. Hasn't been obviously this season, but I've been scared to take the Luka props because they're so high. In this matchup tonight, where the Cavs have been struggling with perimeter defense on the ball-heavy players or the heavy usage players, give me Luka for the 32+ points in this one.
I love it, especially with him putting up 22 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I was kind of torn between the two. I was thinking Bron, this could be the last time in Cleveland unless he goes back or something like that. But I know Bron's going to be in his bag tonight. He's going to have the juiced up legs, and he's going to look like old Bron. So I feel like maybe the script is going to be feed LeBron, but Luka's going to be Luka. I think we have to score 30. I think this is going to feel like a playoff game with the buzz in the arena. People been cooped up in the house last couple of days. So I think they're going to pack it out tonight. It's going to be a little foggy in there. We'll get a playoff atmosphere type of game. But I think Bron and Luka both have good nights tonight.
I think so as well. I like them both too.
To answer your question, the challenger will probably be Hunter guarding Luka, which
you're right. Yeah, he'll be off the bench tonight.
Well, whoever's starting is going to get torched. Yeah. But then Hunter will come in off the bench and try to provide.
I think they probably start Hunter tonight just to avoid that.
Yeah, maybe.
Hunter, he can get in foul trouble easy too.
He's aggressive.
Too handsy.
Yeah.
Another one here tonight, fellas. Another prayer prop that I'm on. A basic one. I like it in this matchup where I expect this to be a high scoring outing, even for how good these teams are defensively. Give me Kevin Durant on the 25+ points going up against the Spurs. I believe these two teams are 1-1 against each other on the seasons. Houston haven't got a win already, and the Spurs haven't gotten a win already over Houston. Kind of a rivalry within the fan base a little bit, but that's going to be my official punches there. Fellas, any other officials before we get out of here on the radio side of things and carry this stream over to the X and YouTube side?
Drop one more real fast. In the NHL, Avalanche, Ottawa Senators. I see these are 2 of the best offenses. I like the over 6.5. Cash 8 of the last 9 matchups between these 2.
Love it. Love it. This is going to wrap us up on the Ticket Punchers for the radio side. We're going to stay live here. If you want to catch us, we'll be on YouTube. We'll be on X @_Ticket Punchers. Come find us there and leave us a like, comment, subscribe. You can always catch the shows as we leave the radio side of things. But fellas, let's go punch those tickets.
Let's punch those tickets.
You've been listening to the Ticket Punchers right here on 96.1 FM, 1450 AM, Big X Sports Radio. All right, fellas. Great show today. A little about a minute and a half over, but we're all good there. It's time for that triple punch parlay piece. Hopefully, the offspring for you guys are all in a good spot right now, and we can dive into this real quick right here on this stream before we end things. JR, start us out.
Yeah, I want to go Braun. 6.5 assists.
6.5. That's a kind of large number. Is that plus money?
Just not digging into it. Let's see.
Yep, plus 108.
Yeah. But
good call.
He gets
I like that plus money play there.
He gets a little razzle dazzle when he's charged up coming off of his last outing in Cleveland. He had 7 and 31 minutes of play, only 2 fouls. But he had, I've been looking at the potential assist. It's just we got to hit some shots, and I think these boys are going to be rallying for him. But he had 13 potential assists in 31 minutes the last outing. So I like it. I mean, devil's advocate, we could alt it down to take 6 or 5.5 is minus 180 for the triple punch to kind of even us out. I think 6 is a more reasonable number. So, I mean, we can lock that in. I feel safer with that.
Covered it 6 times in his last 10. Not bad at that.
Knowing we always miss by the single on the board. It's always 1 board, 1 rebound, half a point, something, all of us.
Mm-hmm.
We always get the hook. So let's take her down to 6, and we should be rolling.
I like it.
Let's do it. I'll stay in the same game. Sam Merrill, over 2.5 threes. He's probable tonight. He's been out about 2 weeks with a hand injury, but not including the last game where he got injured. Before that, he hit this in, I want to say, 6 straight games. I mean, he's hitting 4 and 5 threes. Like I said, with the Jalen Tyson analysis, the perimeter defense, Lakers can give up some open threes as shooters. So Sam Merrill, that's what he's going to do is shoot the ball. I think 3 threes is very reasonable. It's at minus 165, so a little bit of juice. So, I like that as a parlay piece for our triple punch.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I've got an interesting one for tonight, fellas. Not crazy, but just an interesting one here. I'm feeling Ingram tonight. I'm feeling Brandon Ingram tonight going up against the Knicks, home floor. The point line for him is not too crazy right now. He is sitting at just the 20.5 instead of the 21.5 or 22.5 like he can typically be at. So, fellas, you know how I like to get down. He's sitting at 20.5. We're going to take him for 19.5. Water that down just so slightly. I even like the odds. Actually, for the triple punch, we could keep it safe at 18.5 at minus 174. I like Ingram to in this spot tonight. I get there's going to be the OG Anunoby aspect, but the Celtics the Knicks like to switch everything outside of Brunson as much as they can. I think Ingram gets to the basket. Your rim protector being Karl Anthony Towns is not one that I really worry about. There's no Mitchell Robinson in this game. Ingram's bread and butter is getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line. He's averaging 21.5 points per game on the season. I think he can cover let's call it 19 points. We'll call it the 18.5, 19 plus for Brandon Ingram on the triple punch.
Let's do it. Love it. I'm cooking it up now.
Yeah, I like it.
What odds did you get on it, Philly?
See, I got 2 of the 3 legs. You said you're sticking with 18.5?
Yeah. So we'll take the 19 plus.
Odds on FanDuel at plus 285. They do have a 50% profit boost, though.
Oh, and you guys have an SGP.
Yeah.
So if you're on FanDuel, I don't know, not all of us are, but if you are, you can amp that up. It's the way that DraftKings probably has a 20 or 25% boost. That's the same setup as well. 3+ legs, 2 of the legs have to be in the same game. They'll give you an extra boost on those types of parlays. So that's kind of why we started the triple punch parlay piece, kind of trying to make use of some of these boosts that we get as well. So you take the easy plays, the -200s, the -180s, you parlay them up. Ideally, that's all 3 safer plays than what the set line is, and then you put a boost on there to give you what the odds kind of would be if it was the set line. So it's kind of like a little bit of a way to beat around the set lines, the -100s, and getting hooked all the time, right, fellas? And that's what we do. You keep them safe, play them small wagers, parlay them up, and build that bankroll. That's what we like.
For sure.
JR, what else? Looks like you got something else you were digging in on. I know you've got a couple other props you didn't want to say out loud today.
I really like Cleveland money line, not to be a
Mike Rutherford asked me today, do your boys get the job done tonight? I said Cavs win, but the Lakers do cover.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out what the money line was for.
Yeah, this would be a really good game.
For -162 at the moment, I'm probably going to take Lakers +4.5.
I would do that then. Yeah, I would take the point spread. I was leaning towards that, but them on the road has just been tricky. But I know for sure LeBron
on the road, and sometimes we do the blowing out.
Cavs are a hard team to read as well. I mean, you never know how they're going to come.
I just feel like we match up really well with pretty much everybody else besides Donovan. And it's like if Donovan goes and gets 40, it's probably going to be a long night because Mobley will probably finish. I think Mobley. Okay, well then, I love that +4.5 for sure. No Mobley, Jared Allen's not destroying Ayton. You got to find production with your wings. I like the Lakers spread then.
If Rui can come off the bench and shoot like he has been these last 2 or 3 games, I like the Lakers to win. I just don't know if you can trust Rui. I don't know if we can trust him.
Like if you look at his last 3 games, he's 23, 16, and then 12. Like he was on minutes restrictions. I think he's now finally starting to get his.
Yeah, and he said one thing I do love when players do it. He came out and said, "I prefer coming off the bench. I feel like I get more touches and looks." So if we get that kind of output from Rui off the bench, man, we're hard to beat altogether. If Luka's playing like that, which he has been this last month, so
I like it.
I like it for a jab. If you're listening, want a straight bet plus money tonight,
Rui's points, I think, was at 11.5. That was another one that I was looking at.
Really 11.5. Oh,
yeah. I saved it in my bucket.
You can get Rui right now at 10.5 at -174, 11.5 at -130.
Yeah, -118.
I think 10 plus for Rui at -230 is a good parlay piece. I'm not even mad at that.
His last 5 is 23, 17, 12, 9, and 10. So he's ramping up. You can tell since they kind of increased the minutes restrictions around the 22nd, he's 12, 17, 23. So he's getting there. And I think coming off the Chicago game at Chicago, like on the road, he's been balling. It's at home that I feel like Luka and Bron want to gun a little bit to where on the road, I think tonight could be another 15+ point game for him. I mean, we got to have it. I don't know what's going on with Jake LaRavia. He's kind of taking a back seat here lately. I don't know what it is, but
hey, just keep defending, Jake. Just keep defending.
Yeah. I can't wait to get AR back, boy. I tell you that.
Yeah. That was part of the start of Rui's struggles, I think, came directly from that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we would have had the full team, I think our record would still be in the top 4 in the West. I think we're right outside at 6 or 7 right now. But I don't know, man. I'm so ready to get Bron off the books and be able to go big game hunting. I want Ayton gone. I'm sick of him. He's a bum. I hope we re-sign Reeves, but I feel like if we want to go big game fishing for Jokic or Giannis, that's the only pawn piece, or not pawn, but rook piece on the board that we can move that'll actually get us there. But I also don't love that Giannis has had 4 calf strains in the last 19 months. I feel like, he's borderline close to popping that thing, and it terrifies me. Just, even watching that last game where he actually pulled it, dude, it scared the crap out of me because he's my second favorite player in the league right now. And I was like, please no. But we'll see. We'll see. I think he's going to end up going to a market that the league needs to get viewership to. I could see it being the Warriors. When the league was buzzing its most, it was when the Cleveland and the Warriors rivalry was alive, and it's when everybody hated Golden State's guts with KD and that run and that dynasty. I think putting Giannis back there with Curry to finish him out on the back end of his career is what the league would prefer. And we've seen here lately that they'll trade a superstar in his sleep for the future #1 overall draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
So
It will.
Yeah. And I was going to add that in earlier on the show when you were talking about blockbuster trades. I was like, does Luka not qualify for this criteria?
The only reason I don't qualify him is because I don't even think they wanted to trade him. He definitely didn't want to be traded. That's like he's one of the few players at that caliber don't get traded without requesting it, right? So Luka is the one exception because he didn't request a trade. He didn't want to be traded. He wouldn't have allowed that to happen if you gave him the choice. So that's just a little bit different compared to the guys that, of that caliber, like a KD. Even though the KD trade was not a trade, it was a free agency move. Yep. Even the KD trades since then are not like the one when his move to Golden State. But we have not seen a player request to be traded of this caliber quite some time.
What's up, man?
There he is.
Who you picking tonight?
Say what's up. Who you got?
Lakers by 30. Yeah. But yeah.
All right, fellas. Ultimately, though, that's it. Triple punches out there. Official punches have been out there. Nothing came in on the chat or in on the Game Day Mentel text line for today. So we'll get back to that tomorrow. Yeah, I gotta run out of here. You guys, I'd love for you guys to stay live, chat about these. We didn't get into hardly any college basketball from tonight.
I just want to hate this Belichick first ballot stuff. That to me.
Oh, we didn't get into that either. That is blasphemy.
But let's get in that tomorrow.
All right.
No, that's crazy. Yeah, me and Frank too. Yeah.
I'll make a graphic for us and we can hammer it out.
I want to see all the coaches in the last handful of years where they've been put and how long after they stopped playing, because that I get that it's been 5 years though, hasn't it?
Yeah. So this is the first ballot. I mean, I think it's just a little chest ties, them chest ties and them just for the aid and that stuff. But then in 2020, what is it, 27, that he'd be eligible for second ballot, which I think he gets in by landslide. They said he to reach the 40 threshold of the votes, which I think is just to put a little ash on his resume. Yeah. But we can get into it tomorrow. I was about to say, if y'all not doing nothing later, if y'all don't have shows rolling and stuff, I don't have nothing to do.
I should be free later on.
Yeah, I should too. Probably after about 7:30 or so.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could either do a stream for one of the games. We got Lakers Cleveland, or we could do the other one.
Maybe the second half of that.
Yeah.
What's the second game again? Houston.
Houston versus Wemby. Yeah.
First, that'll be good too. So I'm fine with either or.
Yeah, we can. I can download the what's his name, that platform, or I have it downloaded. We can just go live on it and just do the game cast over top.
I like it.
Down for it.
If y'all are down,
let's do it.
All right, get home. Hit me up. We can plan it.
Appreciate it.
All right. See y'all.
Tickets.
Punch those tickets.